John King is over here at the Magic Wall. John, it was a very impressive victory, and there was very nice turnout for a special election.
Very nice turnout, and everybody, Wolf, the Democrats, the Republicans, looking at this race, trying to learn what happened in Massachusetts and what might it mean for elections later this year. Let's take a closer look at some of the key turning points and then the results, and let's flash this over. One thing was the Democratic candidate ran against Scott Brown, saying he was a Republican like Bush and Cheney. He would take America back, was the theme of her ad. One thing Scott Brown did that his campaign think made a big difference was he said no. If he wanted to go back to anything, it was this.
The billions of dollars this bill will place in the hands of the consumer and our businessmen will have both immediate and permanent benefits to our economy.
Every dollar released from taxation that is spent or invested will help create a new job and a new salary. And these new jobs and new salaries can create other jobs and
That's
other
one
salaries.
thing, Wolf, the Republicans say was very successful in this campaign, appealing to conservative Democrats and independents by saying, I'm not like Bush and Cheney, I'm like Jack Kennedy, a Democrat you supported many years ago. Another key point, they say, was the Christmas Day attempted terrorist attack on the United States. Scott Brown turned to Martha Coakley, his Democratic opponent, and said, you would put this man on trial in the federal courts. You would give him a court-appointed lawyer. He stressed that campaign, suggesting she was too soft, on terrorism, and he continued the attacks in the end.
Would Martha Mirandize him and then bring him to New York, too?
Saying here that if Osama bin Laden was captured, would his Democratic opponent bring him to trial? And so what happened in the end? They say the spending appeal, the taxes appeal, the terrorism appeal, running against the Obama health care plan, the stimulus plan, caused a huge difference. Here are the statewide results. Look at this, 52% for a Republican in a state that Barack Obama carried by 26 points just 14 months ago. Those are the statewide results. In the city of Boston, this is a Democratic area, only about 38% of the voters in Suffolk County, where Boston is, are registered as independents. Martha Coakley wins big there among Democratic voters, 66-33. But Wolf, remember this number here. Across Massachusetts, this is more typical. More than half the state is now registered as unenrolled or independent. This is Norfolk County, Scott Brown 56, Martha Coakley 44. Outside of the urban areas, in places where more voters are registered as independents or unenrolled, Scott Brown ran up huge numbers. Translation, the very independents that gave Barack Obama the big margin of victory in Massachusetts and in many other places just 14 months ago have tired of what they see as a two-partisan Washington, two-spending in Washington, like Virginia last year, like New Jersey last year. Independents and voters in Massachusetts made a huge difference here. That is being closely studied by both parties tonight.
Just to give some perspective on the state of Massachusetts, not only both senators were Democrats for so many years, I believe the entire congressional delegation, all the members of the House of Representatives are Democrats as well.
Exactly right. And Scott Brown's going to make his first trip to Washington tomorrow as a senator-elect. He'll see the interim Democratic Senator Paul Kirk, the longtime Democratic Senator John Kerry, every member of the House delegation, Democratic. Scott Brown said, and you played a little bit of the question earlier today, the answer earlier today, he says he hopes now he's going to bring something a little different.